Hi everyone. For those of you that haven't met me before, my name is Bill Wolfe, and I'm Professor of Chemistry and Science Department Chair at Penn Highlands Community College. One of my duties is to be the ACE liaison between the college and the ACE faculty in the high schools that are teaching our chemistry courses. The purpose of this video is to provide a professional development activity for those that did not attend our recent ACE discipline-specific meeting for ACE instructors. It's a good time to remind everyone that although you are teaching a chemistry course in the high school classroom, the theory behind Accelerated College Education, or ACE, is that you are teaching our course at your location, which means that the content and the academic rigor should be the same or better than our courses. The best roadmap or outline for how our courses are to be delivered is the syllabus. The syllabus and other useful course materials are located on the course page in MyPeak. The syllabus provides information on course content, text, a textbook, lab manual, learning objectives, student evaluation. The textbook and laboratory experiments performed, the assessment tools, and the rigor of the content should be college appropriate. In addition, it's important to note that grades for our ACE students should be determined using the student evaluation section of the syllabus. Again, this year we've been asked to focus on assessment in our professional development videos. Assessment is a necessary part of delivering a college-level course. We are currently going through the accreditation process with the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, and our continuing as an accredited college is dependent on providing data that shows our students are learning what we say they should be learning, according to our syllabi. The data will help to identify areas of unsatisfactory student performance that will lead to improvements in how the course is delivered. To that end, each course must have a common assessment across all sections and instructors. That includes courses that are taught as part of the ACE program. Not all outcomes will be assessed every semester. The assessment may be quizzes, exam questions, or lab reports that focus on different outcomes. The quizzes, exam questions, or lab experiments will be posted on MyPeak under the course heading. Please administer the assessment during the time that you're covering the material. If the instructor is informed of the need for assessment after the material is covered, the assessment can be given as part of the final. At this time, only those ACE instructors receiving a classroom visit by a Penn Highlands representative during the school year will be required to participate in the assessment. So not all ACE instructors will participate every year. After grading the assessment, you will need to report the scores of the students using the provided data sheet, and then provide a copy of an assessment of a student that received an A, one of a student receiving a B, or C rather, and then a student receiving an F. If the results indicate a need for improvement, note what changes you will make to improve student learning on the above data sheet. An electronic version of the data sheet and scanned copies of the papers should be submitted to me via email before the end of the semester or school year. As an example, let's look at assessing introductory chemistry. The syllabus for the course lists all of the expected outcomes. I've decided that one of the outcomes that we will assess this year is outcome number 2, which is the student will be able to demonstrate an understanding of the structure of the atom and how it relates to the periodic table as evidenced by, and here's the two things that we're going to look at, given the atomic notation of an isotope, the student will be able to deduce and then list the number of protons and neutrons and electrons in the atom, and then also, given the name of an element and the periodic table, the student will be able to predict the number of electrons in its outer shell, its electron configuration, and the charge of its ion, as well as indicate its location by group and period, and then classify it as a metal, metalloid, or non-metal. The assessment tool for this outcome, Quiz 3H, is located in the assessment section of the course page. Let's open it up and take a look. We ask that you administer the quiz during the time that you are covering the material or as part of the final exam for the course. It would be better if you assess when you are covering the material. After grading the quiz, you will need to report the scores of the students. By the way, we only want the scores of the students enrolled in the ACE course. You can report the scores by using the data spreadsheet that is also posted in the accreditation section. Let's open it up. At the top of the sheet, you will indicate the academic year, the assessment tool, which in this case is Quiz 3H, and the total points possible. You will then enter the scores of the students. The names aren't necessary. The averages will be calculated. However, you will need to enter the percentage of the students scoring 70% or better and 80% or better. There is also a place for comments on the improvement strategies, if needed, at the bottom of the sheet. As mentioned above, the ACE instructor will be required to submit the completed data sheet, a copy of an assessment of a student that received an A, one of a student receiving a C, and one of a student receiving an F. These should be submitted to me via email as soon as they are available, or at least by the end of the school year. My contact information will follow at the end. That brings us to the end of our session. I hope you found this helpful. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me by email or phone. My contact information will follow. I hope you have a great school year.